Sarah's hand trembles as she stares at her phone screen. 2:47 in the morning. The caller ID makes her blood run cold. Michael heart emoji. Her husband. Her dead husband. She shouldn't answer. She knows she shouldn't. But her finger moves to the screen anyway, pressing accept before her mind can stop her. Static crackles through the speaker. Then, cutting through the white noise, a voice, distorted, wrong, but unmistakably his. "Sarah, I'm so cold." The phone slips from her fingers and crashes to the floor. Months ago, Sarah's world ended on a rainy Tuesday night. She can still see the police officers at her door, their faces grave, their words careful. Michael's car had gone off Ridgemont Bridge during the storm. The fall was 200 feet into black water. They found his body 3 days later. The funeral was a blur. Flowers. Condolences. People telling her it would get better with time. They were wrong. Now Sarah sits in their bedroom, her bedroom, surrounded by Michael's things. His watch on the nightstand. His jacket still hanging on the chair. His cologne bottle, half empty, that she can't bring herself to move. Some nights she sleeps on his side of the bed just to feel closer to him. Her best friend Rachel has been calling every day. Sarah's been ignoring her. She's been ignoring everyone. What's the point? Michael was her world, and now that world is gone. But tonight, something impossible happened. Tonight, Michael called her. Sarah picks up the phone from where it fell. The screen is cracked now, spiderwebbing across Michael's contact photo, his smiling face from their honeymoon in Santorini. The call has ended. She stares at it, her heart hammering against her ribs. Grief does strange things to people. She knows this. Maybe she imagined it. Maybe she's finally losing her mind. Sound, phone ringing again. Sarah jumps so violently she nearly drops the phone again. It's ringing. Same caller ID, same time, 2:47 a.m. This time, she doesn't hesitate. "Michael?" Her voice cracks. "Michael, is that you?" Static. Then, clearer than before. "Sarah, our first dance. You stepped on my feet." A sound like wind through a tunnel. 3 times. You laughed so hard you snorted. Sarah's breath catches. No one knew that. They'd never told anyone. It was their private joke, their secret memory from their wedding reception when she was so nervous she kept missing the steps. "How?" she starts, but the line goes dead. She sits frozen in the darkness, phone clutched to her chest. Her mind races. This isn't possible. Michael's phone was destroyed in the crash. The police told her that. It was evidence, logged, and destroyed. So how? Sleep doesn't come. Sarah lies awake until sunrise, staring at the ceiling, replaying that voice over and over in her head. The next morning, Rachel shows up unannounced with coffee and concern written all over her face. "You look terrible," Rachel says, pushing past Sarah into the house. "When's the last time you slept? Or ate? Sarah, you can't keep doing this to yourself." Sarah wants to tell her. Wants to explain about the calls, about Michael's voice, about the impossible thing that's happening. But the words stick in her throat. Rachel will think she's crazy. Maybe she is crazy. "I'm fine," Sarah lies. "You're not fine." Nobody would be fine. Rachel sets down the coffee and takes Sarah's hands. "Have you thought about the grief counselor I mentioned? Dr. Patterson? She helped my aunt after—" "I don't need a grief counselor." "Sarah, I said I'm fine." The sharpness in her voice makes Rachel step back. They stand in uncomfortable silence. Finally, Rachel sighs. "Okay, but I'm here, whenever you're ready to talk. About anything." She squeezes Sarah's shoulder and leaves. Sarah feels guilty immediately, but she can't deal with that now, because tonight, at 2:47 a.m., her phone might ring again, and she needs to be ready. Night 2. Sarah sits in bed, fully dressed, phone in hand. Every minute feels like an hour. At 2:46, her heart starts racing. At 2:47, phone ringing, "Michael?" She answers instantly. Static, heavier this time. Then his voice, still distorted but somehow more present. The money. Sarah, check the safe. The password is our anniversary. Backwards. What money? Michael, what are you? Please, trust me. The line goes dead. Sarah's hands shake as she runs to their home office. They have a safe hidden behind a painting. Michael insisted on it, though she never understood why. She'd only opened it once, years ago. Inside was just paperwork, insurance documents, their passports.
She enters their anniversary backwards, 510220. The safe clicks open. Her breath stops. Stacks of cash, bound bundles of $100 bills. She pulls them out with numb fingers, counting. 20,000, 30, 40, $50,000 in cash. What the hell, Michael? She whispers to the empty room. Sarah can't think straight, can't process what she's found. Michael never mentioned this money, never gave her any indication they had this kind of cash hidden away. Why? Where did it come from? And how could a voice on the phone, a ghost, or whatever it is, know about it? Unless it really is Michael somehow. But that's impossible, isn't it? Sarah makes a decision. She pulls out her laptop and searches for private investigators in the area. If someone's playing a sick joke on her, using Michael's death for some twisted game, she's going to find them. And if it's really him, she needs to know that too. She finds one. David Torres, former police detective, specializing in cold cases and fraud investigation. His reviews are good, his rates are high, but Sarah has $50,000 she didn't know existed. She calls first thing in the morning. Torres sits across from Sarah in a coffee shop, a small recording device between them. He's in his 50s, gray at the temples, with sharp eyes that miss nothing. "Play it again," he says. Sarah plays the recording from last night. Michael's distorted voice fills the space between them. David listens intently, his expression unreadable. "And you're certain this is your husband's voice?" "Yes. I mean, it sounds like him. The things he says, they're things only he would know." "Mrs. Bennett, I have to ask, is there any possibility someone close to you is doing this? Someone who might know these intimate details?" Sarah shakes her head firmly. "No one knew about the first dance thing. No one. And the money. I didn't even know about it." David leans back, tapping his fingers on the table. "Okay, I'll need a copy of the accident report, access to Michael's phone records, and anything else related to his death. I'll also trace where these calls are actually coming from. If someone's spoofing his number, there'll be a digital trail. And if they're really coming from his phone, then we have a different kind of problem entirely." 3 days pass. David works fast. He calls Sarah with an update that makes her stomach drop. "The calls are legitimate," he says over the phone. "They're coming from Michael's actual phone, not spoofed, not faked, his device, his SIM card." "But that's impossible," the police said. "The police said a lot of things. I pulled some strings, talked to the detective who handled the case. They logged Michael's phone as destroyed, but there's no photographic evidence, no documentation of its actual disposal. Mrs. Bennett, I think someone still has that phone." Sarah's mind reels. Who? Why would someone? That's what we need to find out. I also got a copy of the accident report. There are some things that don't add up. "What things? Can you meet me at my office in an hour? I want to walk you through this." David's office is cluttered with files and photographs pinned to a corkboard. He spreads the accident report across his desk, pointing to highlighted sections. "Look at the timeline," he says. "Michael left his office at 6:30 p.m. His car went off the bridge at approximately 7:15, but the bridge is only 20 minutes from your house. Where was he for that extra 25 minutes? Sarah studies the report. I don't know. Maybe traffic? On a Tuesday night? In the rain? Everyone would be going home, not creating traffic jams." David pulls out a map, tracing a route with his finger. "And look at this. The bridge where he crashed? It's not on the route from his office to your house. It's 40 miles in the opposite direction." Sarah's blood runs cold. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying Michael. Wasn't coming home when he crashed. He was going somewhere else. Somewhere he didn't tell you about. The words hit Sarah like a physical blow. You think he was cheating? I don't know, but something was going on that night. Something he kept from you. David pulls out another document. There's more. The accident report mentions brake failure, but the investigation was closed quickly. Too quickly. No follow-up. No mechanical inspection beyond the initial assessment. Sarah feels sick. Her husband was keeping secrets, driving somewhere he shouldn't have been, and now he's calling her from beyond the grave with cryptic messages about hidden money. Sound. Phone buzzing. Sarah looks at her phone. A text message. From Michael's number. It reads, "Tonight, 2:47. Answer. Trust no one." David sees her face go pale. What is it? Sarah shows him the screen. David's jaw tightens. Mrs. Bennett, I think we need to be prepared for the possibility that Michael's death wasn't an accident. That night, Sarah doesn't sleep. Can't sleep. She sits in the dark living room, phone in hand, watching the minutes tick by. Rachel called 3 times. Sarah ignored all of them. David offered to be there for the call, but Sarah refused. Whatever Michael or whoever this is has to say, she needs to hear it alone. 2:46 a.m. Her palms sweat. 2:47 a.m. Sound. Phone ringing. Michael, please? Sarah answers, her voice breaking. Please tell me what's happening. I found the money. I know you were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Just tell me the truth. Static. Longer this time. Then. Sarah, I wasn't alone. She was in the car. The words sliced through Sarah like a knife. She was in the car. Another woman. In Michael's car when he died. Who? Sarah demands, tears streaming down her face. Who was she, Michael? Were you cheating on me? Is that what this is? Not what you think. Sarah, please, investigate. Kevin knows. Kevin? Your business partner, Kevin? He cut the brakes. Victoria was with him. But it wasn't an accident. Sarah, you're in danger. The line goes dead. Sarah sits in stunned silence. Her grief transforms into something else, something harder, anger, rage. If what Michael is saying is true, if Kevin somehow did this, then her husband was murdered, and she's going to prove it. Sarah doesn't wait until morning. She drives to Michael's company office building, using her key card. They never deactivated it after his death. The security guard waves her through without question. Everyone knows the grieving widow. Michael's office is exactly as he left it. His computer is still there, password protected, but Sarah knows his passwords. She logs in, her hands steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. She searches his files, emails, documents, and then she finds it. A folder labeled discrepancies. Inside are spreadsheets, highlighted transactions, notes in Michael's handwriting, hundreds of thousands of dollars, moving through accounts that don't match the company's official books, and every irregularity points to one person, Kevin Morrison, Michael's business partner and supposed best friend. Michael had discovered Kevin was embezzling from their company. The documentation is meticulous, damning. Michael had been building a case. Sarah's phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Get out of there. Now. He knows you're there. Her blood runs cold. She grabs a flash drive, copies everything, and runs for the door. Sarah calls David from her car, hands shaking so badly she can barely hold the phone. He was going to expose Kevin, she says, words tumbling out. Michael found out Kevin was stealing from the company. That's what the hidden money was. Evidence, maybe, or I don't know, but someone texted me. They knew I was in the office. David, I think I'm being watched. Where are you now? Driving. I don't know where. I need to think. Go home. Lock your doors. I'm calling. The police. No, not yet. We need more proof. The calls mention Victoria, Kevin's girlfriend. Michael said she was with him, with Kevin, not with Michael. What if she's involved? David is quiet for a moment. Victoria Reed supposedly died in a boating accident in the Bahamas 3 weeks after Michael's death. I remember seeing it in the news. Supposedly? I'll look into it. But Sarah, if these people killed your husband, if they're watching you now, you're not safe. You need to. Sarah hangs up. She knows what she needs to do. The next morning, Sarah walks into Kevin's office unannounced. He looks up from his desk, surprise flashing across his face, before he masks it with practiced sympathy. Sarah, my God, what a surprise. How are you holding up? He stands, coming around the desk with arms outstretched for a hug. Sarah doesn't move. I know about the embezzlement, Kevin. Kevin's face freezes. What are you talking about? Michael found out. He documented everything. And you killed him for it. Sarah, you're not thinking clearly. Grief can. Don't. Her voice is ice. Don't you dare talk to me about grief. Michael trusted you, considered you his best friend, and you murdered him. Kevin's expression changes. The sympathy vanishes, replaced by something cold and calculating. He closes his office door, and Sarah realizes with a spike of fear that she might have just made a terrible mistake. You need to be very careful what you accuse people of, Kevin says quietly. You have no proof of anything. I have Michael's files. I have the documentation. I have everything. Do you? Kevin smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Because from where I'm standing, you're a grieving widow who's been under enormous stress, who's been having delusions, maybe, seeing things that aren't there, hearing voices. Sarah's stomach drops. How do you know about the phone calls? Kevin's smile widens. Sarah, who do you think has been calling you? The world tilts. No, it can't be.
It wasn't Michael, Kevin continues, leaning against his desk. It was never Michael. Michael's dead. I made sure of that. But his phone, he pulls a device from his drawer. Michael's phone, cracked screen and all. That survived just fine. And Victoria, well, she was always good with voices, especially after listening to hours of your voicemails to him. Sarah feels like she's going to be sick. The calls, the intimate details, the voice that sounded so much like Michael. It was all a lie, a manipulation. Why? She whispers. Because you wouldn't let it go. You kept digging, kept asking questions. We needed to control the narrative, lead you in circles, make you look crazy if you ever went to the police. Kevin's expression hardens. But now you've found the files, which means we have a problem.
Sarah's hand moves to her pocket, where her phone is recording everything. David's advice echoing in her mind. If you confront him, make sure you're recording. You're not going to get away with this, Sarah says. Aren't I? Who's going to believe you? The widow who's been receiving calls from her dead husband's phone? Who's been acting erratic? Pushing away her friends? Seeing things? Kevin steps closer. Victoria's death was faked beautifully. She's somewhere tropical right now, waiting for this to blow over. And you're just going to become another tragic story. The woman who couldn't handle her grief. But Kevin has made a critical mistake. Because David Torres isn't just sitting at home waiting. He's been listening to every word through Sarah's phone, and he's been calling the police from the moment Sarah walked into that office. The door bursts open. Officers flood in, weapons drawn. Kevin Morrison, you're under arrest for fraud, conspiracy to commit murder, and the murder of Michael Bennett. Kevin's face goes white. He looks at Sarah, realization dawning. You recorded this. Sarah pulls out her phone, stopping the recording. Every word. The next hours are a blur. Police, statements, Kevin's arrest. David arrives, and Sarah collapses into a chair, the adrenaline finally fading, leaving only exhaustion. We found Victoria, David tells her. She was in Costa Rica, living under a false name. Local authorities are bringing her back. Between her testimony and Kevin's confession just now, you have enough to bury them both. Sarah nods numbly. It should feel like victory, but all she feels is empty. The calls, she says quietly. It was really her the whole time? Looks like it. She had access to Michael's phone, his cloud backups, all his texts and photos with you. That's how she knew the details. She's been trained in voice acting, worked in theater before she met Kevin. It was cruel, but effective. She wanted to make me look crazy. She wanted to control you, keep you from finding out the truth. And when you started investigating anyway, they panicked. Sarah thinks about those nights, waiting for 2:47 a.m., hoping against hope that somehow Michael had found a way to reach her. The desperate need to believe in something impossible because the real world was too painful. I should have known, she whispers. I should have known it wasn't him. You were grieving. They exploited that. This isn't on you, Sarah. But there's one more call to make. One more piece of the puzzle. That night, Sarah sits in her living room. It's 2:46 a.m. Her phone sits on the coffee table. She knows it won't ring. Victoria's in custody. Kevin's in custody. There will be no more calls from Michael's number. But at exactly 2:47, her phone screen lights up. A text message from Michael's number. Sarah's heart stops. She picks up the phone with shaking hands. The message reads, "I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm so sorry. It's not Victoria's style. Not Kevin's." Sarah's fingers fly across the keyboard. Who is this? 3 dots appear. Someone's typing. Then, it's me, Victoria, but not the version you met. I need you to know. I never wanted this. Any of this. Sarah's anger flares. You tortured me. You used my grief as a weapon. I know. And I'll pay for that. But you need to know the truth. The real truth. The next message comes quickly. I was in the car that night. Not following Michael. I was with him. He was bringing me evidence. I was supposed to be Kevin's girlfriend, but I was really working with Michael, helping him build the case against Kevin. We were going to go to the police together. Sarah's world tilts again. What? Kevin found out. He tampered with Michael's brakes. The crash. I barely survived. Jumped before the car went over. Kevin found me. Threatened my family. Said if I didn't disappear, if I didn't help him cover this up, they'd die. I've been trapped ever since. A ghost, just like Michael. You expect me to believe this? After everything? No, I don't expect anything. But I'm testifying, telling the police everything. The real story. What Michael was trying to do. How brave he was. How he died trying to save both of us from Kevin. A pause. He talked about you, Sarah. In the car, those last moments, he was trying to call you. Trying to warn you. His last thoughts were of you. I need you to know that. Sarah's tears come then, hot and fast. All the grief she's been holding back, all the anger and confusion and pain, it all pours out. Another message. I know this doesn't fix anything. I know I can never make this right. But Michael loved you. That was real. That was always real. 4 months later, Sarah stands in a courtroom. Kevin Morrison is sentenced to life in prison for murder and conspiracy. Victoria Reed receives a reduced sentence in exchange for her testimony 15 years. The truth is finally public. Michael was a hero trying to expose corruption, killed for doing the right thing. The money in the safe? It was Victoria's life savings, given to Michael to hold until they could go to the police. Everything was meant to be evidence. Sarah visits Michael's grave that afternoon. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. She places fresh flowers on the headstone, runs her fingers over his name carved in marble. I found the truth, she whispers. I know what really happened now. You were trying to protect me, trying to do the right thing. And I'm so sorry. Sorry I doubted you. Sorry I thought. She can't finish the sentence. But somehow, standing there in the fading light, she feels peace for the first time since that rainy Tuesday night. The calls may have been fake, manipulations, and lies, but the love was real. The man who died trying to do the right thing, that was real. Sarah walks back to her car. Her phone buzzes. For a moment, just a moment, her heart jumps. But it's just Rachel, checking in like she does. Every day now. Sarah smiles and answers. Hey, Rach. Yeah, I'm okay. Actually, I think I'm going to be okay. That night, Sarah sleeps peacefully for the first time in months. No phones ringing at 2:47 a.m., no desperate hope for impossible connections, just rest. But in the morning, she wakes to find a single notification on her phone. A text message, time-stamped 2:47 a.m., from a number that no longer exists. It reads, "Thank you. I love you. Goodbye." The message deletes itself as she watches, pixels fading until the screen is blank. Sarah sits up, heart pounding. There's no rational explanation. Victoria's in prison. Kevin's in prison. Michael's phone is in evidence lockup. And yet, she touches the screen where the message was, and for the first time since his death, she smiles. A real smile. "Goodbye, Michael," she whispers to the empty room. "I love you too." Some mysteries don't need solving. Some things don't need explanations. Sometimes, you just need to believe. If the story kept you on the edge of your seat, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our next thriller. Drop a comment below and tell us, do you believe the final message was real or just Sarah's way of finding closure? And if you love this story, smash that like button. It helps us bring you more content like this. Until next time, stay curious and keep your phone close. You never know who might call.